Hello everybody, welcome back to our channel, or if it's your first time watching one of our videos, welcome to our channel. My name is Mel. I am one half of Hustlin' Hooks, together with my husband Adine. We are resellers. We sell on eBay, Poshmark, Mercari, Facebook Marketplace, anywhere we can flip something that we buy for cheaper and sell for more. Today is Saturday, and yesterday Adine and I spent a lot of money on inventory. We are going to be going over that. Now, we hit up a number of Goodwills and thrift stores, but we also spent our evening buying out somebody else's eBay inventory. That's going to be a different video, so watch out for that one. This one, we're just going to go over what we picked up. As you can see, there's just so much, mostly clothes and shoes. Let's go over some of the highlights.
Typically, we look out for a lot of hard goods when we're out thrifting, but this was kind of like a surprising mega haul thrift trip, because once we stepped into one Goodwill, Mona waved me down asking for help, and I was just thinking she's saying hello. I'll play the clip of her hauling pounds and pounds of this stuff all at once. But it just depends on what we run into. Sometimes it's a bunch of hard goods, sometimes it's a whole rack of TORRID, right? So I'll show you a couple of the harder goods, some shoes, and then Mona will cover some of the clothing highlights. The first thing I found was this Cuisinart. It's a ice cream sorbet maker. It's pretty straightforward. You just turn it on. It doesn't require a lot of thought to test it, as it just literally spins. There's a paddle inside of it. This thing isn't worth much by itself, but the plan with it is just to part it out. So the total amount we're going to profit on is about $10 per item off of this thing. So the lid is worth about 10 bucks plus shipping. We got a little paddle in here that's worth about 10 bucks. This bowl that's worth about 10, and the motor is worth about 10. So for $5, we're happy to make 40 net profit, long term. It's not going to be a fast seller, but it'll sell. This one was not found at a thrift store. I found this on Facebook Marketplace and picked it up. The person lived really close to my parents, so it was really convenient. It's a Vitamix. It's definitely an older piece. It does have that mid-century modern look to it, that chrome finish. It's the Vitamix 3600, and in this condition, used, it's worth about $100, $120 plus shipping on top. We paid $35. It's already been listed. It should sell relatively quick for us. And it also came with the manual, which is a $9.95 value all by itself. We really enjoyed selling shoes. They're just overall really efficient, really straightforward, really easy for us. We have nearly 500 shoes for sale, and we sell a couple pair at least every single day. We found these Nikes. They're pretty straightforward. Most Nikes we sell in that 40 free ship range, which is basically the same thing as saying 30 plus shipping or 29 plus shipping, because on average it takes about $10 to ship a pair out. A pair of Born heels, nothing too crazy here, really nice condition overall. Born is a pretty solid seller for us. Not the greatest find ever, but it's a nice filler item. On average we make about 20 bucks net profit per shoe. This definitely fits the mold. These were 8 bucks at Goodwill. A pair of Nike volleyball shoes. Always check your threads. Always do the bendy test when you're out looking for shoes. Look out for damage, stain. If they stink, leave them behind. If there's a lot of ripping damage, leave them behind. You'll find another pair elsewhere. And another pair of Nikes with a neat print on them. These are the Nike Free Trainer 4s 5.0, which is a bit confusing. And then a pair of New Balance. These are not worth much. These are probably like 30 shipped. But they require zero work, right? We don't have to do any cleaning on them. We'll still make about $15 net profit after fees and shipping. So for literally 7 minutes of work, we're gonna make 15 bucks, and that's perfectly fine with us. Full leather Keens, of course, great find. You can see the label. It's pretty straightforward with Keens on the bottom. We paid up for them 16 bucks or 17 bucks, but they'll sell for about 70 shipped or 50 plus shipping, right? So we're happy to pay up a little bit for something that's gonna sell pretty well for us. And the last pair of shoes I'll show you are Rocket Dog, a brand that we're pretty new to. Their clogs seem to do pretty well, so we took a little bit of a gamble on these. They're really nice condition, 7 bucks again. It'll be about $15 to $20 net profit, and we literally have to do 7 minutes of work. There's a couple of rocks that we need to pop out and take pictures, put them in a shoebox, and that's it. Mona's gonna jump on. She's gonna go through a couple of pieces of clothing. Hint, Torrid.
Like Adine mentioned, we walked into this Goodwill and a new rack had come out, and it was, I mean, the whole rack was almost all Torrid. There were a couple other brands sprinkled in there. So I'm over there and I start pulling them off the rack. And I'm trying to wave Adine down, you know, like, hey, I need a car. And I said, hey, can you come here? And he just thinks I'm like waving to him across Goodwill. Like, he goes, hey, because we wave at each other all the time when we're, you know, just across a few steps from each other. So that made sense. So I did just like load myself up. I should have had another cart, but this is usually sort of like a one cart kind of a Goodwill, so this was a kind of a surprise that we found all this stuff. And my shoulder still hurts from it, so I feel like he owes me a shoulder rub. Comment if you agree below, and the answer is yes, he does. Anyway, Torrid. So Torrid is not a brand that you do want to pay a lot for, but it is a brand that turns over pretty quickly, at least for us, that we have found. And we net for us, on average, about $20 per piece. We picked up 36 pieces yesterday. So those 36 pieces are going to net us about $720 in profit. And we're thinking that will turn over, again, like I said, relatively quickly. So that was a really good find for us. No, we didn't pay more than $6 for any of the pieces in this huge haul. So that is probably where I would suggest maxing out what you want to pay for Torrid. You know, depending on the style, of course. So for reference, when you search just Torrid in general, there's about 28,000 active listings on eBay, and the solds are about 24,000. So that's an 85% sell-through rate just on the brand in general. Keep in mind, as with every brand, it will depend on style and things like that as well. So keep in mind the normal things when you're looking at Torrid. That still all applies, but great brand to see if you find it. Look it up, see if that particular style or whatever is selling well. As I mentioned, I'm definitely not going to go through every single piece. Nobody wants to sit here that long, but I'll cover some highlights. There were a good amount of sweaters. Chunky, this is like a chunky cardigan sweater. So obviously the sweaters I'm going to prioritize over this pile, which is just basic tops and things like that, and crop sweaters, like more summery sweaters, if that makes sense to you out there. So this is very fallish. And Torrid is, I don't think I mentioned it, Torrid is a plus size brand. They have very trendy plus size clothing. This one is just, you know, a graphic sweater, glitter hearts. Some are very Halloween appropriate, so those are definitely gonna be the first ones I put up. I mean, you can wear this all season, but the skulls and everything do kind of give it a spookier vibe. This one's great. It's like a boyfriend sweater with a skull. Cardigans tend to do better for us anyway. And then this one's like another graphic one. It sort of has like Rocky Horror vibes to it, in my opinion anyway. And we've sold a number of their graphic tees. They sell actually very quickly for us, a little bit quicker than some of the other styles that you might think would sell better. They also had a lot of embellished jean styles as well. So there's this one in this red color, and they also had a black one in this same style with the zippers. So when you see something that's unique or different, and that goes really for any brand, it tends to sell a little better. Not always, but it gives it a little bit more flair, makes it funkier. Let me show you what a typical tag would look like. Pretty straightforward. It literally just says Torrid on it. So this is one style. This is another one with the black with the white writing as well.
Okay, I have to butt in. Name your most creative theory of why there was an entire rack of Torrid clothing on one rack at one Goodwill. Why did someone donate 36 pieces of Torrid? The most creative comment wins a pair of shoes. I'll show you those shoes at the end.
Here's another pair of jeans. Thanks, Adine. I mean, our theory was obviously that maybe someone lost a bunch of weight and didn't need them anymore.
But that's not creative. The more creative would be like...
So that's what I'm saying. That's like the straightforward answer. So try to find something more creative than that.
Maybe they moved to an island and that island doesn't allow the letter T.
Oh, I like that. That's good. Okay, well, don't steal that answer. Stop. You gotta stop now. You gotta leave room. These are also, I felt a little bit Halloween-y-ish. I mean, obviously you can still wear them all year. I'll just show you a few more jeans before I move on. These ones, light wash. They have the fray at the bottom, more of a straight tapered look. And then the rest of these are all just regular blue jeans, you know, standard styles and things like that. So lots of different styles across the board, should cover a lot of different genres. Moving on to some non-Torrid things. This was on the, I'm gonna call it the Torrid rack because that's pretty much what it was. This is a brand, and if you have young ones around, I'll spell it out, the HE double hockey sticks bunny, which seems to be kind of a goth brand, and most of the items on eBay have shipping from the UK, and it's designed in England, so maybe I would assume it's not as common to find it in the US, which is good if you're shipping from the US. It's easier for people. So pink, but with spiders, so it's kind of got the spooky feminine vibe to it. Definitely an audience for that. This one is sort of a boho flowy piece. The brand is Wrap. It was also on the Torrid rack, and I looked this one up. Solid sell-through rate, nothing super crazy or anything, but again, probably at least a net profit of 20 on that. I also found some Vera Bradley scrubs, which I didn't know they made scrubs, on the Torrid rack. So it was a good new rack overall. I picked up a pair of their pants, and each of these it sells for about $35 on average. So $35 for the pants, and then they also had a non-matching scrubs top as well. Just quickly picked up an Eileen Fisher jacket. It's a brand that tends to hold value. Doesn't sell as fast for us, but because it's more of a jacket style, it should have a higher sell value. We picked up a couple vintage sweaters, either made in Hong Kong, made in USA. We don't necessarily look at the brand when we're picking up those types of sweaters because it's the quality and where it was made and the fact that it's vintage that makes it unique and makes it valuable. So this is G.H. Bass & Company, but again, I wouldn't worry so much about that as I would about that it's a cardigan, thick knit sweater. This next one is a very interesting one. I was going through the blazer section of our Goodwill, literally just nothing. I always just tend to look for St. John's there because I have found it before in that section. And I always put vibes into it. I'm like, I'm just here for the St. John's. At the end, the last two is where I found the Eileen Fisher jacket. And then I also found this, which is a new brand that I never seen, but I mean, the color and the texture and the fun and just the details and the quality of the fabrics, it stuck out to me as something I would want to look up. So it's called, and I'm probably gonna say this wrong, Maison Common. It's made in Germany, and if you go to their website, I'm not sure what season this particular jacket is, but similar styles with the same fabrics of this fabric are listed up to like $3,000. I'm just so blown away that people spend that kind of money on clothing. It's so crazy to me. And then they throw it in a Goodwill pile. Yeah, that's even crazier. So I picked it up. There's not too many comps to go by, but when it's that high of a retail, there are a few comps in the couple $100 range. And that's probably about what I'll list it for. I mean, $3,000 is a lot to pay brand new for something. They don't tend to hold that much value, even big brands, unless it's like a very well-known brand. But I'm very comfortable listing this at a few $100s, and it's just a really, really cool piece too. So it was a fun find. We did find a more vintagey Levi's jacket. We went to a thrift store called Meltrotter, which is like a local mission thrift in our area. They tend to have higher prices for things, so you have to be a little pickier about what you pick up. I will say that the things that they put on the floor have already sort of been vetted for if there's rips or tears or stains. So that is nice as well. You just get less there because you're paying up. I paid $10 for that jean jacket, but I didn't pick up anything that I didn't think would sell for less than $45 at the price points at that thrift. I picked up a couple Ralph Lauren sweaters as well. The styles of these were important considerations for me, and I did look them up before I bought them. Each of these next sweaters I'll show you were $12. So this one is this is called a waffle knit, which is just sort of the texture of that. You see it a lot with Henleys, sort of, I don't know, I guess it just looks like a waffle machine. And then their classic cable knit style with the pony right on the corner there. And this is the last piece I'll show you. We picked up more, but just for the length of this video, this is the last one I'm gonna cut it off on, and then Adine will show you just a few more pieces. This is another one I looked up because it was like very unique. When you see things that are just out of the ordinary, just check them out. These are, I guess I would say, like harem pants, you know, they've got this like gourmet pattern on the back and like this, whatever, I don't know what this serves as fashion, I guess. And it's a brand, again, I hadn't heard of, Ella Zoo. So it doesn't sell for crazy high amounts of money, but solid sell-through rate, and probably about $35 to $45 for these. So fashion.
I'm going to show you a couple of jackets and a couple of pairs of jeans, and I'll talk about kind of the logic that we use when we buy items like this, where we're kind of uncertain, but we believe that we're still going to do well with them. The first one is this University of Michigan piece. The brand isn't crazy. It's all like fake suede. It's nothing crazy, but it's Essex brand, and it's still brand new with tags, and it's a size large. So the original retail was $60 at Kmart. It was on clearance, blah, blah, blah. So what we'll do is take off the clearance stickers off of this and probably list it for $60 shipped. Paid $10 for it. And now that I'm looking at it closely, I'm just going to return it. Because I see all these little frays in here and all this damage. And that's what happens when you use a bunch of fake material. But I'll still talk about the logic. So the logic was, it's brand new with tags. It should do okay. It is, you know, it's football season. Unfortunately, this one didn't work out, so I'm just gonna throw it over there and give it back to them. The next one doesn't have any flaws because I looked it over a bit more careful. This is a Hollister jacket. Now, Hollister isn't a crazy resale brand. It's a mall brand, obviously, but this is a extra large men's size. It is a puffer jacket. It is a bigger size. It is a really nice condition jacket. There's one listing for over 100, like 110 plus shipping new. This one's in excellent condition. Comps are like $30 or so. Because of the size, we're probably going to list it around 60 shipped, maybe 55 shipped or so. And that's kind of the logic. And again, winter is coming, and overall, it's a pretty stylish coat. It does have this pretty unique cotton canvas texture inside, and it's definitely a warmer piece. So seasonality and style definitely over the name brand. Although some Hollister does sell really well, especially if it's a big like goose down jacket, like super puffy jacket with that like fake fur collar around the hood, those tend to do pretty well. Mona did find a couple of Tommy Bahama pieces. These are just their straight, you know, dad jeans, right? Nothing too crazy, but we should be able to get about $30 plus shipping on each of them. One's a lighter weight, one's a medium weight. Tommy Bahama, definitely a hit or miss type brand. It seems to be pretty saturated market-wise, but there's still some pieces that do really well. And lastly, for me, some women's hiking, trail, you know, walking type pants. Different brands. The first one is a Duluth, really solid brand to look out for. Nice little cargo piece. Again, you know, about 35, 40 shipped. They ship first class because they're light, which is nice. Another pair of cargos. These are REI, definitely, you know, a great brand for outdoors folk. Same price range, I think, right around that 35, 40 shipped. And then a pair of Feta, fantastic brand, a little bit of stretch on the top, similar style, and again, right around that 35, 40 shipped mark. Pretty easy, just photography, put them in a bag, ship them out, so they don't require a lot of work. You can win this pair of shoes, and you may think that's just a box. It is just a box. It came from our friends Derek and Jasmine. Congratulations to Both of you, Jasmine just recently quit her job and is joining Derek in the flip game, which is awesome. Nothing better than a power couple, especially when it comes to resale. Check them out under the ATL Flipper. They're on YouTube. I'll link them down below. I'll also pop them up right here over my face because, you know, it's not really that pretty to look at. Let's see what shoes he sent this time. So go over, subscribe to their channel. That's part of the requirements to win this. And then just share your most creative reasoning of why someone dropped off all of their Torrids. We'll pick it. We're going to pick the winner on Monday night. So come back for Monday night's premiere. It'll be in the evening. And then please claim it, because last time we did one of these, we didn't get the winner. The winner didn't claim their shoes, so we're going to redo those at some point in the near future. You don't have to be present during the premiere to win, but you do have to watch that video for your name. No way. It's the same ones as last time. It's another pair of these rose gold brand new Air Max from Nike. And yeah, they're fantastic. They're brand new. These are size, who cares? You get them for free. They're size US 12, brand new rose gold Nikes for you. Just drop a creative comment. We're gonna hand select the winner. Thanks for playing. That's it. We bought stuff.
We did. We bought a lot of stuff.
We spent
things.
We spent over $1,000 yesterday total, which is a pretty expensive day for us. The next haul video is gonna be pretty epic. It's our entire store buyout from another eBay seller. Definitely stay tuned for that.
If you've made it this far in the video, thank you so much for watching. We do appreciate the support from each and every one of you. If you'd like to give us a thumbs up, it just helps us grow our channel. Subscribe if you haven't already. And as always, take care.